This is the Willpower Podcast live at the Growth Code Conference. No scripts, no fluff, just real conversations with OT, PT, SLP owners in the room, sharing what's working right now. And today I'm joined by Sarah Bootcheck, account manager and SLP at Raintree, diving into how AI is transforming documentation and clinical workflows in rehab, and what practice owners need to know right now to stay ahead of the curve. Here we go. Okay. Well, Sarah, welcome to the Willpower Podcast.
Thanks.
I am so excited to talk about technology and AI. We're filming this in January 2026, so this is like cutting edge stuff that we're
January
here.
Too.
Is today the last day?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going so fast.
I know.
So you were with Raintree. Give the audience a little, set the table a little bit of like what you do in that space. You're an SLP, the funniest of all the rehab
The funniest
physicians.
of all the rehab medicines. And the most charming by far.
Hands down.
Hands down. I mean, you can ask, we can pull some hospital systems, see what they say. I'm an account manager at Raintree and also an SLP. I joke that I pay ASHA every year, so as long as I pay ASHA, I'm definitely an SLP.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. As an account manager, I work with current Raintree clients of all shapes and sizes, and we look to see, how their platform is. Do they need more training? Are they looking at more products? And that's something that has been a huge, significant, impactful journey is the Raintree products that have come out since 2025.
And that's really the theme of our show today. Yeah. We're talking about AI and how it's disrupting even more in 2026 than ever. Anything that's healthcare related in the rehab space. And you guys, what's interesting about this discussion, Sarah, is that Raintree has been around for a very long time. I've been in the industry forever. I've known of Raintree, but I didn't know it was 40 years old. Yeah. So you guys have seen it all.
We have seen it all.
So like you were saying, so you have partners who've been on Raintree longer than you've been since you've been in school. Yeah,
truly. No, we see the data of like, oh my God, you went live in like 2010. I'm like, what was I doing in 2010? I was about to graduate high school.
That's right. What does that even mean? And you guys were already business owners, and now they're in their 70s. So the technology is disrupting the space, and I honestly feared for older companies like yours.
No, and I think that's right, because you look at. I sometimes joke that a lot of bigger companies can get stuck in the mud.
Absolutely.
And it's sometimes it can make or break you. You be like the stuck in the mud. That's that's your persona. That's your marketing. But then you look to see, but wait, everyone else is not stuck in the mud. So why can't we? And why is it still us? So Raintree as a whole and as a culture really looked at that, and they were like, okay, this has got to change.
Yes.
Like something's got to change. And honestly, kudos to the Raintree clients if you're listening, because they are the ones who made the most noise.
Okay, so you listen to your customers is how this all evolved.
And that's pretty much how it evolved, is that, Nick Hedges, our CEO, just told us that probably 2 years ago, some of our largest customers were like, dude,
get with the times.
Pretty much get with the times.
If you guys don't evolve, you guys are going to be dead.
You're going to crash, and we're going to leave. And we don't want to leave, so please, please, please listen to us. And they did. And the first step of that was acquiring Yumi, which is an AI company. And so we brought Yumi within Raintree.
What does Yumi do?
Yumi was essentially one of the first groups in the AI space to develop a scribe for PTs.
Because that's a hot button right now. Everyone's got their scribes out, that kind of thing. And so that's where you needed to start.
So we knew that's where we needed to start. We knew that documentation was by far the first thing that AI needed to figure out, because let's be honest, it's the one that sucks the most.
It's the worst part of doing what we do.
It's the worst part of doing what you do.
And it's the reflection of like how insurance companies suppress us and how we have to match what they're going to do. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And unfortunately, as an SLP, I love words, but I don't want to be a novelist.
No.
I'm not here to write a novel, but I still want it to be on my name's attached to it. So I want it to make, good lasting implications for whoever's reading it, which usually no one reads it, but
unless you're or fearful that you're going to be audited or sued
or
and you've
subpoenaed or anything. There's all kinds of, what ifs, and they're real.
Yeah.
They're very much real.
Absolutely.
And, so we listened, and then the step one was finding Yumi, and Yumi is a group of really young, really smart guys, and they had figured it out, and it was a slam dunk because we were able to make it native, because then at that, It wasn't a third party. It was
right. It wasn't a plug-in.
It wasn't a plug-in. It was ours. So that was a total high fives. So almost a year ago at APTA CSM in Houston, that's when the Yumi crew first started to really be intertwined with Raintree.
Okay.
And we had ScribeIQ. And we were like, okay, we need to really enhance it. We need to make it, CPT coding recommendations, ICD coding recommendations. And I love telling this story because the Yumi team was there and we're like, can we do that? And they're like, we'll do it. And that night, I kid you not, that night they went to their hotel room, did not sleep, worked on code, and figured it out.
Oh my gosh. So you guys are just moving quickly with the times.
And I think finally we realized that we were so... I live in the South, so think of like that Southern, like,
take your time, Southern drawl.
It is fine. And then we realized after our eyes were open, we're like, oh my gosh, we need to go lightning speed. Yeah. So within the year, after acquiring Yumi, we rolled out 10 products and or enhancements in the course of 2025. 10. And ScribeIQ and ScribeIQ Plus are AI driven, and the other ones, I would say, like the ones that come to mind, touch points especially, are built in hopes to then grow with AI.
Okay.
So now we have the skeleton.
Okay.
And we have the capabilities of how to enhance the systems, but now it's like, okay, that was great, check. Chapter 1 through 5. Now we need to advance it with AI.
Because I think Scribe is such, again, a hot topic, but now it's almost an expectation. If you don't have a Scribe element and an EMR, then what's,
what are you doing?
So you guys got on that early, implemented it, crushed it, started building the coding in.
Yeah.
What else have you guys had to pivot to?
So the next one would be, and I mentioned this recently, I was like, we had to start documentation because that's just the biggest downfall.
Absolutely.
It really is. So, now that we have that in our pocket, what else are the downfalls? So the big one is just the note itself, right?
Yes.
It's great that you have a scribe, but like you said earlier, who's going to tell you what you need to work on? Who's going to tell you how they've been working on, how they've been progressing? Who's going to analyze that data?
For me, that was the worst thing ever. There's two cultures when it comes to these therapies, right?
Yeah.
People who have their own dedicated patients. And even in those cases, you have people cover you.
Yeah.
It makes it so hard to go on vacation. If you're
going to
leave.
Impossible.
And then if you're one covering another person's vacation, you got to triple your workload, not just the extra caseload, but then you got to figure out where all those patients are in succession. But other cultures, like my old practice, we had 5 locations where we would have people who would be dedicated to a team. So you'd have a therapist and a PTA and sometimes another PTA. So they had to communicate.
Yeah.
And this new AI feature totally solves it, gets people up to speed in the quickest way possible. Tell us about that. How does it work?
So now it's looking at when you open NoteIQ, it's going to give you insights into your day. So it's going to be that schedule aspect, but beyond the schedule aspect,
it gives you the update on your day.
Yeah.
You log into your user interface and NoteIQ tells you about your day.
So it's going to give it, and it's such my way to describe it is clean. It is so clean. You're like, wow, this is so easy to use and so intuitive. And you're going to click on, Sarah, and you're going to get to Sarah's patient, and you're going to see it's going to give you a whole AI summary as what its initial eval. Why are they here? What does their referral say? Do they have any allergies? Is there any other pertinent medical histories that you need to know right in the front? And then it's going to give you, and it's going to have embedded Scribe in it. So then you're going to go ahead and click Scribe, and then as soon as you're done with your note, it's going to go ahead and populate everything you need to know, and it's just so intuitive.
Wow.
It's crazy. And even from a daily note, that's, I think, the biggest thing is that you look at the daily note, and it could be your first session, your third session, your 30th session. It's going to pull and synthesize all of that previous data to tell you, hey, they're really progressing. Kudos. Or, hey, you actually haven't worked on this goal in 3 weeks. You should probably work on that.
See, that's crazy to me because I could think about, the few times I've ever had a team member get audited or get brought to the state board. It is the most horrific, terrifying experience. And all of us, as we do notes, we go to bed at night going, well, probably nothing happened, but I hope they don't, because I don't know what my notes will actually do in defense.
Yeah.
So note actually not only helps get people up to speed quickly, but it gives you a bit of a pulse check.
Totally. I like that pulse check. And especially in this day and age with therapy spaces of value-based care, which is such a hot button topic in itself, is that, with lowered reimbursement rates and this like question mark as to like, is value-based care going to be the answer to that?
Yeah.
You look to see, wow, you can see in real time, you can see real analytics from a value-based care point of view is, they're actually making progress fast.
Yeah.
And here's how they're making progress fast.
Wow. So this is a way to keep a busy therapist on track, or even anyone who's going to be covering to get caught up to speed super fast. And it just gives you that 20% of information that gets you 80% into your day instantly, it feels like.
Because I would get to work early.
Yeah.
I was in pediatrics, so I had a pretty consistent cadence as to who I saw in a time period.
Sure.
But I still would have to go and be like, okay, so we've been working on this. Here's a reeval coming soon. I probably should start working on this. And one thing that it does is it also gives you recommendations, and not from like an evidence-based standpoint. It's just more so like a skeleton, like, hey, here's some things that we noticed. Here are some areas of concern that you could work on, which, some schools of thought are like, well, that's not evidence-based. How would you give that recommendation? And I'm like, no, I look at it as like, here's a nice skeleton.
Yeah.
You still have the clinical judgment because that can't be AI-fied.
Right.
So you're going to, go down that avenue as to what you think is best as a clinician.
Yeah, we're not looking at, it's not medical advice. It's not telling us how to treat. It's a matter of just saying, hey, you've got a lot on your plate. Here is something that you set as a goal.
Yeah.
You haven't mentioned this or worked on this according to what I've seen. It's like, it's almost like a little angel over your shoulder saying, hey.
Yeah, it's a reminder.
Yeah, it's a little reminder. So this is amazing. You guys have developed all this in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I was at TherapyCon, by the way, where they announced a lot of these things we're talking about. Such an amazing event.
Oh my gosh.
We're here at
it's going to be bigger and better.
You guys are out of Arizona this year, though.
No, we are. We're actually going to Austin. So get your cowboy boots on.
I will. I'm from Texas originally, but I live in Arizona, so I love being able to drive down to downtown Phoenix for that event. But I am excited to go to Austin. It's going to be such an epic experience. And I say this, Growth Code, the one we're at right now, is the best event in our industry for enterprise level, for large companies and small.
Yeah.
The large events, of all the big events out there, TherapyCon's my favorite. It was such a mind blow. Such great collaboration, great content. It was awesome.
Yeah, and it's historically for Raintree clients, but one thing that we're really trying to implement this year is clients who aren't on Raintree, who are just really curious about, the therapy space, the AI technologies,
absolutely,
what's going on there, is, even partners like Virtual Rockstar that exist in the space that, work in tandem with a lot of different EMRs that, you want to see what is out there. And it's just trying to be the ultimate spot for those who are in the therapy space, who want to grow, who want to take down the man.
Yeah, man. It's funny, and I told you this offline, and this is me really putting my money where my mouth is that Virtual Rockstar, our favorite EMR to work with our virtual assistants is Raintree.
Oh my gosh, you said that, and I was like, really?
It's true, and I'm saying it now live so that everyone can hear.
I think it's true, but
well, listen, there's different EMRs that have different specialties. Like you have clients that fit your zone, but the reason my VAs work so well in Raintree has a lot to do with how you guys operate in terms of customization and with the AI piece. And I get nothing for saying that. We're not tied financially to each other. Going back to the AI component, tell me more. I think the audience wants to know more about this disruptive care. So that's a sneak
peek as today. So then we get into, so I mentioned this to someone here at the conference. I was like, we had to look at each section of the therapy lifeline, right? Yeah. So front, we look at clinical, we got that. Then you look, so what other pitfalls happen in terms of the day-to-day of therapy? The next one would be the front office.
Yes.
In the front office, it's hard to hire. It's a huge staff turnover. I'm still really close.
It's why I'm in business.
It's why you're in business.
It's why I'm in business.
I'm still really close to who was our patient care coordinator at the clinic I was attached to, and she has a hard ass job.
Dude, it is not easy to be a front desk.
It is not easy.
And we don't have the funding or gross margin, the margins to pay them what the right person would want to do that job, which is a sales position, by the way, and a customer service position.
Yeah, it's tough, and even just from her stance especially, there's a weird almost gray area of wanting to be the best customer service experience.
Yeah, right.
and like making sure that your families and your patients are getting the greetings and the welcome that you want them to have.
Right.
But then sometimes that gets taken advantage of, and then they get lost in their workload because they're busy talking to Sam's mom for 45 minutes, which happens all the time. And you're like, it's this, again, this weird in between of how to be successful. And then you add on the burden, and then it's a hard job.
Yeah. So how does Raintree address that?
So what we're doing is, one thing that is AI focused is SchedulerIQ. So that will come out later this year, and it's really assisting with that workload when it comes to scheduling.
I am the most excited for this before you go into it, because one of the pivotal moments in my practice is when we got to the point where my therapist would walk the patient to the front desk and say, Mrs. Jones, you want to be able to hold your grandkids again. I want you to meet Sally, our front desk. She is here to make sure you attend all your visits. So we're not going to schedule your next visit. We're scheduling all of your visits for your plan of care out now.
Yeah.
And she's going to hold you accountable to that. And then they'd spend the next 30 minutes sometimes figuring out the next 6 weeks of their lives.
Oh, totally. And even 30 minutes, I think, is pretty conservative.
Yeah, right. Totally. And meanwhile, she's got faxes she's missing, calls she's missing, people who are calling to schedule for their
missing
first
co-pays,
visits.
that's a big one.
Dude.
Because someone signed in and you didn't collect the copay.
It's insane. It's insane. So all that bottlenecking around one person that we're underpaying, and we wonder why sometimes we hire people that show up like we're doing them favors. So now let's go into SchedulerIQ.
So SchedulerIQ is using the AI technology to give the schedule prompts, so that especially in the rehab space, that you do schedule the whole plan of care.
Right.
Or in pediatrics, you schedule the whole plan of care, and it might be PT, OT, speech.
Right.
And then so that's 3 appointments, maybe twice a week. So you have 6 appointments for one child.
In 1 week. In 1 week, and then you're scheduling out weeks maybe at a time.
And you're scheduling for the full 6 months.
So you're talking about like dozens of appointments in those cases.
Dozens. So it's looking at that and knowing that, everyone has a life. Everyone has a life. So everyone's got stuff to do. Everyone's got, preferences.
Absolutely.
So looking at that and being like, okay, I know that Will wants to come Mondays and Fridays, but he can't come the third Monday of the month because he has, his massage therapy.
Yes, I get my massage therapy the third Monday of the month. That's weird that you just knew that. That's so specific.
You seem like a Swedish massage kind of guy.
I am. It's either that or my juggling practice, but yes, one of those two things.
So we know that, okay, so it's assisting with the AI technology of giving the AI that prompts, be like, hey, can you please schedule Will? This is his insurance. He does not need to be on the third Monday of the month, and he wants these time slots. And the AI will then go into the schedule and find those holes, which in matters of seconds.
Amazing. It finds those holes.
So that you're not going, because I've been guilty of that too. I'm like, okay, I think I found I found a spot for the kid, and you go, okay, and you move it and you move it and you move it and you go, damn it, I didn't see that spot.
Why me?
I forgot that's Christmas Day. Yes.
SchedulerIQ sounds phenomenal. I'm so excited that that's going to reduce some of the friction, a lot of the friction,
so much friction,
and protect that plan of care in a way that patients are able to attend in their appointments without any of that work.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
And you mentioned bottlenecks too, because the goal is that is such a time suck job.
Yeah, it is.
Part of the job, not even the job, that then it reduces it to seconds, so that then the time could be spent on allocating to anywhere else. Because especially with AI, this comes up a lot, is that we're not looking to reduce the workforce.
Yeah.
I think that's always the biggest misconception about using AI. It's like, oh, well, are you going to replace jobs? And
right.
It's like, no, because this is going to be assisting with allocating resources and time for that particular full-time employee into something that maybe he or she wants to do more so. Because I'm sorry, no one wants to schedule.
No one wants to schedule. So it's this is where our VAs and the AI overlap.
Yeah.
So because I have a lot of friends who own VA companies, and they're super worried, and they're like trying to sell.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more bullish for the very thing that you just said.
Yeah.
Because my vision is to see supercharged AI VAs. So if we can have our VAs supercharged with AI, they're going to be able to go in there and handle those things, because the human beings at the practice, what they would do best at are sales cycles and customer service cycles.
Yes.
The technical things If it can't be completely automated by AI, it can be managed by a VA with AI, and then the human beings that are present can focus on those other elements. And it's so cool because we can live in a day. I'm like you, where I love technology and all these elements, but even people who are resistive, I always give the grocery store self-checkout analogy.
Yes.
We see those things and we go, I would never do that. And then you just get irritated if you can't check yourself out.
That's all I do. I only self-check out.
I only do that. There will be a day, and this is my prediction, by the end of this decade, that every outpatient practice, private practice in America will not have a human being. And I know there's a lot of pediatric people here at this conference, they would say there's no way. Well, here's why. When someone can still have some human interaction when they absolutely need it, and it doesn't matter if it's a physical person or not, but most of it is automated through AI, we are going to reduce so much resistance around people just having these long conversations at the front desk that I used to think was vital to the quality of my experience for my clients.
I still stand by it. But then you look at that too and you're like, okay, so where can that full-time employee go?
Right.
And that's always the question of like, well, I really like Val. Where's Val going to go? Well, Val has capabilities from a business sense to be allocated to something that's probably going to make her grow, professionally and personally in more aptitude.
Totally. And that could be, maybe it's still patient interacting, but what if what if his or her reach out was completely focused on customer service, like, hey, I really want to see how it's been 3 weeks in your appointment. I know the therapist's checking in. 1,000%. I want to know how it's going. Or, hey, we were discharged 2 months ago, and do a whole reactivation cycle.
Oh, I like that from like a net promoter score. That's a great idea.
So you're constantly like nurturing these relationships in ways that you are so much more effective than talking about the weekend at the front desk. And by the way, that there's power in that. I'm not minimizing that. I'm just saying that it goes back to the grocery store moment. We used to have those wonderful connection moments with our grocery store checkout individuals as well, but we'd rather just get on with our day. As long as the service in the back office, as long as that speech therapist, OT, or PT is really connected to that person, they're not going to be in a position where they feel less.
No.
If anything, there'll be more time for those people to do that because there's more money and less schedule constraint because these things are blocking those flows.
Well, I think the grocery store example is a great example because, I told you I'm a Southern girl, so I love Publix. And Publix, has really moved to that model of having self-checkout, which is great from a consumer standpoint. But now, because of, they still have the cashiers who are there, Publix employees are like super committed to Publix. That now, I find it to be better from a consumer point of view that if I'm in a position where I can't find something or I'm having an issue, there's more people at my disposal to help me because they're not waiting on a 20, 15-person line to check out.
At the end of the day, when I go to a grocery store, what I want at the end of that experience is a quick out.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything else more than that. And if I can have a better journey, like if I have people to say, hey, I don't know where the peanut butter is, like having someone available, kind, and not in a hurry do that is amazing. Yeah. So I think as we start developing our practices, it's going to evolve that way out of necessity. I just learned from Chad Madden from Breakthrough, a marketing company in the PT space specifically.
Oh, I know Breakthrough, yeah.
Oh, he was telling me 3 days ago, he said that the inflationary impact on our practices today, just from 2019, when you look at inflation plus decreased reimbursement, is that we have 29% less money. 29%. This is a real number we can look up.
I gotta look it up.
So this is why AI, like from a Raintree perspective, this is something that you guys can use with your customers as well. Is just this idea that like, hey, listen, you have almost 30% less money because of decreased reimbursements and so on. So we have to automate things where we can. We have to save money on personnel, which is where I come in with work.
Yeah.
So but I'm not trying to sell our services. I'm just trying to say that like, there's
solutions out there.
We have to look at those are the no-brainer ones. Then there's like bigger ones, like we have to change our model. We have to change how we're treating. We have to fight the insurance companies, which we're doing better at.
Yeah.
But
you need to lobby. You need to advocate.
Those are the better long-term solutions. What we provide is a long-term strategy to help make things more efficient and easier, which happen to save money. And that's wonderful.
No, and I think you're exactly right. That's actually pretty much the reason why I left the clinical field.
Yeah.
Is because for such a long time, it's any therapist therapist is patient-centered care, right?
Yeah.
I'm here to fight for the patient. I'm here to fight for the family. And then it got to the point where I was looking around and I was like, who the heck is fighting for the therapist?
Who is fighting for the therapist?
Who is fighting for the therapist? Because I look around and these therapists are my friends. They're pretty much my family. We've worked together. I have goosebumps. We've worked together for years.
Yeah.
And I look around and I'm like, they're getting a cut on reimbursement. They're not getting the pay they deserve. They didn't get the bump and bonus. Their comp got slashed. And you look at their PTO got denied because there's not a person to cover for the clinic.
Yeah.
So you look at that and you're like, man, it's so easy to pinpoint on the company who you're working for, but I don't think it is the company. I think it's the culture of the field of being like, well, yeah, reimbursement's low. Can't do much about it. And it's like, no, you can do something about it.
Yeah.
You can call your congressman.
All those things that were happening while United Healthcare has a 40% increase in their profitability. Like, they are getting that because of you.
Correct.
You suffering is why they're more profitable. So that's what I did as well. That's why I sold. I had a chance. I did not want to sell. I was using my business as a platform to do other things that were more industry facing, but it worked out to where here you and I are. We've been in the trenches. Now we're outside trying to call in reinforcements.
Absolutely.
And some of those reinforcements we manage, but we all need each other. Good EMRs, good B2B services, technologies, and legal representation. So as we continue to fight together, every time we do something like this, every time we leverage technology, we're not just making our companies more profitable, we're making what's possible a reality.
Yeah, and I think that, so many vendors, right? EMR, virtual, any kind of third party, people get in this rut of being like, well, you're the bad guy. And it's like, no, I'm not the bad guy. Like, if anything, I'm your partner who is going to be
Well,
here.
they see us as possibly someone who's wanting more of their money.
Absolutely.
And they don't feel like they have enough. So
and
it's
there's
like
no value add. And it's like, no, the value add is that, Raintree has really put so much emphasis on this partnership within the clients and any future clients in order to, again, fight the good fight. And whether that's, lobbying, whether that's trying to get reimbursement rates up, whether that's to, go against the payer. That is where you have to look at it as a true partnership, no matter what the vendor is, as long as everyone's on the same page. Yeah,
it's amazing. One of the things that really got me solid and excited about Raintree was when I was working alongside Chris Redding, who's the CEO of USPH.
Yeah.
And so they exclusively use Raintree as their EMR. And when I was working with them, it was because, and I can't get into detail, but it was on another business front. I realized USPH is the gold standard of, in my mind, physical therapy. Yeah. Because
they do a great job.
They're publicly traded. They're one of the 4 publicly traded companies. Their stock rises when everything else is volatile. Their NPS scores, the way that the people they acquire love them is just palpable. And the reason I say it's a gold standard because of their scale, and because although they're publicly traded, they are PT operated.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful. And when they used Raintree, that's when I started to really understand it. Yeah. And so it's important for us to recognize that success leaves clues. And as we look at those clues of where we can go for support, we can trust those sources because of those elements. Yeah. So what do you see down the road for Raintree in terms of change and technology and all the fun things that are
AI
out there?
centric. I mean, it will be very AI centric. I hope you're not tired of AI yet.
No, I think we're loving it more and more.
I know my mom uses ChatGPT. I was like, you go, girl. You go, girl.
I'm impressed.
She calls it a him. I'm like, I don't really know if you could genderize it, but if that makes you feel better.
As long as she's not like, he tucks me in. I think that's where we get to a point.
I think that's where we get to a point like, let's cut off. Let's cut the cord.
Time to cut it off.
No, AI centric is going to be the pulse, the blood, and the oxygen of Raintree from here into forever. We have really bought into it. No pun intended. That's why we bought Yumi, but acquired him. But beyond that, though, it's really just looking at the best solution, and just how people were moving from paper to document to then an EMR. It's the same mentality of that was a better solution, and now that we're at an EMR, the better solution is AI capabilities.
It's so fun to see how you guys have. We can't say it's the oldest, but we can say it's one of the most experienced out there.
It's a senior
in a way that is rare, and
it's rare,
and it's thriving.
Yeah.
I think that says so much about not only where you guys have been, but where you're going.
Yes.
And it gives me hope for the industries, because as we as healthcare industries are looking forward to the future, we realize that like what we can do is still stay true to our core and what made us who we were to begin, but then to evolve into something we could become using technology, leveraging these elements to help us grow.
And looking beyond too, like what, there's really no limit.
Yeah.
So, 2027 is looking at, is the RCM component.
Yes.
So looking to see, because billing and pediatric.
Let's go.
Billing in any space, pediatric or adult, is a lot.
That's what we
I would say another word, but it's a podcast. So.
Yeah. My mom might be watching. Yeah, I appreciate that for sure. And it's funny because just so you know, that's where we have decided we're specializing on the virtual assistant side.
Yeah.
As medical billing to front desk. That's where we are honing in, because we do lots of things, but that's where we have found the greatest success, the greatest praise from our clients.
Absolutely.
So and by the way, I own a medical billing company. That's where
What do you not do besides juggle?
The main thing I do, You're joking around juggling before we hit record. So the idea is that Virtual Rockstar is 90% of my time, but I own lots of other companies, and I started with a medical billing company that ended up producing Virtual Rockstar. I started hiring overseas, and I was like, this is all we're going to do. But I still own my medical billing company. I do a yearly retreat for them that I facilitate, and this was 2 weeks ago. And they told me AI is making medical collecting exponentially more difficult.
I can believe it.
So honestly, VAs and AI through Raintree are going to have to come together to combat it. And what's cool about it is that solution is baked into yours. Yeah. And it's something that mine's very affordable. So these are very low cost, high output solutions that control revenue cycles. So you guys in 2027, exactly where we're going as well.
We're on the same page. And that's something that, I'm really passionate about, because I wholeheartedly believe you should not mess with people's money. Yeah. You shouldn't. And especially when it's a small business or even a big business, that money is people's 401k, that money is people's salary, that's their mortgage, that's their
children's future.
It's children's future, all those things to note, you shouldn't mess with that. And especially against an institution like a payer, where it just makes it so difficult. It's it doesn't have to be this difficult. Right. So I'm here for the battle of the beasts, the AI versus AI. Let's go.
I had a whole season on the podcast of AI versus AI. Yeah, it's so fun. I'm so excited to see where we're going. Sarah, I'm grateful to have you in the corner of not just for me and my company, but for the whole industry. One thing I love to, before I get to this next part, how do people get a hold of Raintree or you, or if they have questions, they want to learn more about things, how do they get a hold of you?
How to get a hold of me. So let's see. If you want to get a hold of Raintree, we have a very nice website. So go to the website. You can find us via Google. I'm trying to think of the website's name right now. I think it's Raintree.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Put it in the show notes, yeah.
I will make sure to have it in the show notes.
If you want to get in touch,
if you put Raintree EMR, it will pop up.
It will pop up. Not Raintree neighborhood, because there's lots of Raintree neighborhoods. If you want to get hold of me personally, and even just I talk to a lot of clinicians who are looking to move to non-clinical. Yeah. A lot of people took my phone call when I tried to make the transition, and I mean a lot of people took my phone call. That I really try to pay it forward, because it's tough. So especially in the technology SaaS space. So
it's an evolution at the very least.
It is an evolution, and it has such value of being a clinician in the position that we're in. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I have a very distinct last name, so I'm the only one. Can't miss me.
Sarah, you have been a treat. I am so excited to have you on the show. Yes. I like to wrap things up with a rapid fire set of questions. You ready?
Great. Yeah, let's hear it. Okay.
What is your favorite thing culturally about being a team member of Raintree?
The people. That's easy. There is such good people, and just people that. We have so many people who work in Estonia. A lot of our engineers are in Estonia.
Interesting.
Which is really interesting. So even just culturally having differences, and even it's nationwide. So even people who I'm like, what is it like in Vermont? In the South, I cannot compute you got 2 feet of snow. So having a fully remote company just provides so much different perspective.
Yeah, right.
But also, so you have that empathy, but the people just keep you warm.
I love that.
It's true. The Raintree is for people. It really is.
Okay. What is an AI tool that you like to use privately? It can be even a common tool. What's a tool that you love to use privately?
This is a hot take, but I do use ChatGPT like my mom, and I use it mainly for 2 things, and you're going to giggle. for math-related issues.
Yeah, totally. Like, who cares anymore?
I don't care. I'm sorry.
There's new math, there's old math.
There's new math, there's old math. I don't care what math. Help me like create, percentages and fractions. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm getting this ChatGPT. Give me a percentage of this number by this number.
Totally.
And then this is like a really sad thing to say, but I like to use it for greeting cards, explicitly like to give me like sometimes if I have like a writer's block, if I'm writing like a wedding card or a birthday card.
Oh, just like your message that you put in the card. That's exhausting.
It is exhausting. Well, honestly, to write a sympathy card is really exhausting because you feel terrible and you're like, I don't know what to say.
Hey, sorry about it.
Yeah, sorry about it. You're my thoughts.
Life sometimes sucks. Hope you have a better diet. Like, what do you say?
What do you say? So I just like to read it from like a, just a brainstorm session.
Love it.
What did I say? But I do my own narratives though. But it's just more so like
I think that's a great tool with AI.
What did ChatGPT say?
When AI, I love to use it as like an idea creator, or if I have a concept, an idea refiner.
Yes,
those are my
creator.
Tell me about a book, TV show, a movie, or a song or a concert that you've seen recently that you loved.
Oh gosh, this always happens. I'm on the spot, and I'm like, what book am I reading? Oh God, I'll have to think of it.
It can be a TV series that you're into. It can be anything.
Oh, a TV series I'm into. Well, this is a hot take, but I'm really excited for a TV series that's about to come out. I love Top Chef.
Oh, what's it called?
Top Chef.
Oh, okay.
It's I just love the cooking competitions.
Ooh, those are fun. They're big for a reason.
They are big for a reason, and but I'm reading a couple books right now, but.
I like that. No one's done a TV series, so I'm glad that you went with that one. Where's somewhere in the world that you've been that you loved, or somewhere that you want to go?
We actually just, for New Year's Eve, we went to Paris.
Who's we?
Me and my partner, Chris.
Nice.
And we just had the best time. I mean, it was just like magical. And it snowed the day we left.
Romantic.
This is like a storybook. It's awesome.
Love it.
We love Paris, but we've been to France quite a bit, and I really want to go. I'm a big wine person, so I like to go to the wine regions of France.
Love
That's
that.
Next.
Love that. All right.
Got to manifest it,
Totally. All right. Last thing. This is out there in the universe. Your future descendants, family members are going to see this. What would you want them to know about what we talked about today?
I would like them to know that although it seems scary, it is really exciting.
All these things that are coming. Sarah, thank you so much for being on the show. I sure can't thank you enough for taking time to be with me.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for making my podcast debut.
I know. I feel so honored.
I feel so honored. Thank you for asking me.
Well, rock stars, this is it for the Willpower Podcast today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so grateful that you joined us here at Growth Code 26. This is Will Humphreys, as always, signing off, reminding you to lead with love and to remember to never give up. Until next time.